No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast and NXXXT. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I'm here with my co-hosts. She is host of the She Leads Showcase, the current reigning, defending, undisputed Trick or Trivia champion, and my co-host on Getting Off, which returns this Sunday, Ms. Katie Kinsey, baby.
Hello.
Baby.
And Vince.
I'm here too. Let's do this thing.
They told me not to give them so many more nicknames, so now it's just...
No one said not to give so many nicknames. No, you're the one that didn't want to...
That's exactly what you guys said. You're like, you guys don't have to say all that for me, so I just didn't do it this time. And it felt weird, and I didn't like it. So next week we'll be back. Or Friday.
Or Friday, but okay.
Yeah, Friday. I guess I should probably plug things, right? That's what we do now?
Yeah. Plug some things.
Things like twitch.tv/Creation World, where if you got Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. And if you take those two and you put them together, you get a free sub. And then you give that free sub to your favorite Twitch streamer. Could be me, could be Katie, could be, whoever is on, as Will likes to call it, the purple site, that you want to support, that you like watching, that entertains you. It should be me, but maybe it's not. But make sure you don't let that free sub go to waste, and you use it on your favorite Twitch streamers. You guys can also go to youtube.com/Creation World, where it is free to subscribe to, comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm, helps find new listeners.
And why is that important?
Because you're a whore.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. I am a whore for your likes, for your views, for your comments, for your attention, which means you should do all of those things and give me that attention so that I feel special and that I keep wanting to do this every single week, 3 to 4 times a week, depending on how many shows we have going on. Pass me around, use me, abuse me, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that I get the attention that I need via likes, comments, and subscriptions. And if you want to know when we're live, the schedule is confusing for you. It's the easiest way to do it is flick that bean, hit that notification bell, get notified whenever we go live, which will be Monday nights, 15 minutes after Raw goes off air, Tuesday nights, 15 minutes after NXT goes off air, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern-ish, because we're never actually at 6:30, but that's neither here nor there, ish, for the Creation Conversation. Every Friday, 15 minutes after Smackdown goes off air, 15 minutes after any WWE PLEs that so happen to take place, and occasionally on a Friday and or Sunday, depending on how everything works out for Getting Off. Like this Sunday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. I didn't fuck it up this time. For Getting Off, with the Final Girls podcast joining us to talk found footage films. So make sure you tune in for that as well. All right, Katie. I know that you kind of blew your load last night with the Tony Storm stuff. Do you have anything for your segment, or was that it?
I didn't talk about it, but I haven't talked about it really on anything yet. Athena's officially passed 800 days as Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Fuck yeah.
And that's incredible.
That is.
She's going to get to those 1,000 days, isn't she?
I mean, she's already the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion in history. And I'm pretty sure she passed that when she had 600 days. So now she's just breaking every fucking record they have.
To be fair, I feel like Tony forgets to book
He does.
her. So
he doesn't forget to book her. She's on Ring of Honor all the time doing things.
Yeah, I just don't think he has interest in like dropping the title or creating a program for the title. So it's like Athena put on the match with Wrestler of the Week. Here you go.
To be fair, she has had quite the feud with Abaddon over there. Like, I don't watch, but I pay the fuck attention. Billy Starks as well, especially when it comes to Abaddon. You know, Devil's Thickest Demon always has my attention. So yeah, no, he has been booking and doing some things with her. You know, she had her minions. She's got the Billy Starks thing going on. Like, he's doing shit over there. We're just not watching it, and he just doesn't talk about it on any of his actual televised programs.
Nope. Which is just rude. It
really is.
She should just be on TV, period. Like, I don't even know how to watch Ring of Honor. I forgot.
Through their app, I think.
Is that the only way to do it? Just through the app?
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Kind of like TNA.
Yeah, they don't want people to watch their programming.
TNA.
Oh, we're going to talk about TNA. Do you have anything else, Katie?
No, that was it.
Okay, well, then let's get into it. So TNA and WWE have a partnership. We call it NXTNA. And apparently this week they said, you know what? We're going to send you our worst. Because I'm jumping around, and it's fine for the purposes of this podcast. Can someone tell me why the fuck the Hardy Boyz are tag team champions in 2025?
Nostalgia pops.
No.
Because nostalgia pops.
No.
You trying to tell me Young Kings Wrestling aren't nostalgia popping for the Hardys being TNA tag team?
I can tell you that one person is nostalgia popping for maybe Jeff Hardy, and that's it.
Listen, people,
and I don't even think they want to see them as tag team champions. I'm going to say something completely out of fucking character. I'd rather see Matt Shitty Kids hold those tag titles than fucking Matt and Jeff in 2025 over on TNA, because I don't have to watch TNA, so I don't care if they're tag team champions over there or not. It doesn't matter. Enough. However, I think if we're going to do it, at least let them do it. Like,
well, I think they've done something like that, but you know, it's mostly the nostalgia pops because they're down the road next week in Ohio, Cincinnati, right? If I'm not mistaken. They need to book the card. They always try to get like a main roster or like a WWE name from the past to be on those shows. The Hardys are going to be like when they go on the road shows, like when it's to St. Louis. Like
they're always on the road for the most part.
50-50, but they always get like someone from main roster or like a past person to show up. And this time around, it's the Hardys, and then they're also bringing in Moose's from TNA.
It's not just the Hardys, because they also said, hey,
number 51, number 51,
Moose Knuckle
over here. Yeah, Moose Knuckle. Yeah.
So we're gonna see him versus Lexus King for the we got 2 TNA tag title matches on the line next week. We have 2 TNA title matches on the line. The X Division title and the tag titles. But all right, so
are the tag titles on the line? I thought it was non-title.
No,
they literally said they were challenging the Hardys for the tag titles.
I thought they were just challenging the Hardys. I could be wrong. I
mean, the whole discussion was like, all right, we'll just jump around to that. Where's that in my notes? So Axiom's backstage, right? And No Quarter Catch Crew comes up and they're like, well, listen, we already know what you guys want, and we told Briggs and Friend last week the same thing we're going to tell you. Like, what makes you think you deserve a tag team title shot? They're like, honestly, we don't even give a fuck about you. We want to fight legends. We want to fight the best tag team in the world, possibly of all time. We're challenging the Hardy Boyz for the TNA tag team titles, is what I got out of that. That's who they want to fight. Because Axiom thought that they were going to challenge them for their tag titles. And they're like, nah, not even. Like, we don't really give a fuck about you. Shout out to them, because neither do I. And then the Hardys accept. And they're like, what's next? And I'm like, how about fucking retirement, guys? Maybe that could be next. Maybe you guys could just, say, hey, we had a really good run, and not tarnish or soil your reputations any further, because as much as I used to be a huge Matt Hardy fan through a lot of things, including his stint as tag team champions with Bray Wyatt. That man can barely fucking walk, let alone wrestle in the ring. And his legs have always been janky. I love Matt. He's always had janky legs. Jeff, we all know how I feel about Jeff Hardy. You can retire too. It just hang him up, guys. You've done enough. But the beginning of the show, Oba Femi comes out and he's pissed off. He's like, listen, at Vengeance Day, these 4 dudes, they tried to beat me off and they didn't finish the job. And I'm not happy about that. So I want them to come out and I want them to finish me like they promised. And instead of getting finished off by the 4 guys that beat him off on Saturday, one man comes out. One. Instead of 4 men, he gets 1 moose. Right? And don't get me wrong. I may not be a fan of a lot of what I know about Moose as a person. I will say seeing Oba Femi stand across the ring from Moose was a nice visual. It looked cool. That is something that I feel like outside of, again, if I could separate the art from the person, it would be something I might want to see. But I can't do the art from the person thing. So it's just a thing. And then Lexus King's backstage, and he's like, you're coming over here challenging for our titles. How come nobody's putting your titles on the line, which was before the Hardy Boyz thing happened? And he's like, all you got to do is ask, because he, like, a little bit of a speech impediment. Ask and you shall receive. So Lexus is like, yeah, NXT, or not NXT, TNA X Division title match, you and me, next week. Sound good? Yeah, cool. So that's a match that I could give 2 shits about. Like,
this is the prelude. If the chin shows up, I might be done.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, goddamn, if she shows up, like Triple H.
At this rate, she's going to. Moose is her defender. Fucking prick.
Yeah, number 51 needs to chill the fuck out. First off, I didn't knew it was him because I didn't knew he changed his theme song, because I'm used to the one where he's like Moose every like 5 seconds, and that's a catchy song, and that's what I was thinking. And then I just heard some generic theme song, and then they zoomed in on his face, and I still didn't know it was him. It wasn't until they turned on the lights and went, oh, it's Moose. I saw the NXT, the X Division title, and I knew it was him. It's getting the gargle just because I don't really care that much for Moose. He's whatever, I guess. Him versus Oba Femi was a sight to see. The match, cool, as long as it gets Oba Femi over and it gets him a big win over a notable name. Notable because he's known throughout the industry. In terms of the Lexus King stuff, I don't really care. Again, like you were saying, like that's happening. We don't really give 2 shits about. And I just confirmed that No Quarter Cash Crew challenged the Hardys, but didn't challenge them for the tag titles. So it's just a tag team match. They didn't challenge them for a tag team title match. So only the X Division titles on the line next week.
Then what the fuck is the point of them doing that?
Just challenging the greatest tag, in their opinion, one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Fucking stupid.
Maybe. Hey, I don't think they deserve a tag title match, but you know.
Listen, again, literally anyone deserves a tag title match in 2025 against the fucking Hardy Boyz. Literally anyone. Briggs and Friend, Carmen Petrovic and Ashanti the Adonis.
Well,
Hornswoggle and El Torito. Like, I don't give a fuck. Anyone can challenge the Hardys for those tag team titles because they mean absolutely nothing in 2025 as long as the Hardys are holding them.
I disagree. It probably like hit up Powerbound Jutsu since they're the TNA aficionados and ask them how those tag titles are going right now, what the value is. I think they're a better person to ask.
I don't need to ask anyone what the value of tag titles are. The value of tag titles are what I hold them at, and as long as the Hardy Boyz are holding them in 2025, I hold them at 0 because, as we've talked about, the perception of all championships and their value is in the eye of the beholder. So it's what you value a title at, not what anyone else does. Now, if you want to rate your value of a title based on other people's opinions, that's, again, completely up to you. Me, personally, those titles mean jack shit in 2025 with the Hardys holding them because the Hardys should be retired.
You're also very biased, though. So,
what do you mean?
You're also very biased.
No, they should both be retired. They're both way too fucking old. And the last thing that TNA needs to be doing, especially losing all the people that they're doing, is putting tag titles on guys like the fucking Hardy Boyz instead of building up their tag division with new people.
Oh, they'll put someone over, and then that'll be a big win for whoever they put over. So they still hold some sort of value. It's not completely devalued.
I really don't feel like beating the Hardys in 2025 is a big deal. Like, I feel like I could do it with zero wrestling training. I could blow in the right direction and knock Matt Hardy over.
I thought you were going to go in a different direction with that statement, but never mind.
Yeah, he's going to blow, obviously.
To continue with more of the bad stuff that happened on NXT, let's just get it all out of the way. Eddie Thorpe is trying to get another match out of Ava, and 2 former Chase U members invite Ava to a party that Eddie Thorpe refuses to DJ at. She declines to go, and somehow they rope poor Andre Chase, who I don't think we've really seen since Chase U was dismantled,
Not really.
into a match against Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah.
Then they come out in Chase U sweatshirts, distract Andre, who was just starting to get, his mojo back, getting his groove back a little bit. And then Andre Chase loses to Eddie Thorpe. Because why?
I don't
It's confusing because these guys seem like completely unknowns. Like they weren't alumni of Chase U. They weren't even
They
extras.
want Chase U back.
Yeah, they're just like
in Chase U. They just want Chase U back.
Exactly. And it's like they've been talking up Andre Chase the last couple of weeks. So it's not the first time they've interacted. And I think the last time we saw Andre Chase in the match was when he did that 6-man tag, when he randomly returned, when he was with Hank and Tank. So, yeah, it was like a couple weeks back. Like Hank and Tank needed a third man in the 6-man tag, and it was Andre Chase. I don't know if they're gonna bring back Chase Universe here. They're just teasing some sort of angle with Andre Chase. I don't think that's the direction you should go.
Swear to God, don't drop that shit.
Drop what?
Chase U again.
Listen, if they do it again, they do it again. I don't think they should. I think they should just move on, honestly, at this point. But man, poor Andre Chase. Not only did he took that L, he got dogged by Corey Grace and Booker T on commentary the entire time, talking about how he had Timo Jordans on. And he had like track suit sweatpants on or whatever. Completely shitting on Andre Chase on commentary. It's crazy.
Disrespectful. Andre Chase is a professor, damn it.
Was a professor. He's unemployed at the moment.
Silver lining, after the match, Trick shows up on the Titantron and informs Eddie Thorpe that if he's going down, he's taking Eddie under with him. And I've got to believe that means NXT Underground.
More than likely.
Doesn't Eddie Thorpe have an underground match under his belt?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it with, though?
I don't fucking remember. I'm not looking it up. My hands are cold.
Yeah. Okay, so
probably Gable Stevenson.
He didn't have a single fucking match.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he had an NXT Underground match, and if he didn't, his brother did.
His brother probably did more likely than him. I don't know. It's all a big gargle because I just found out that, watching NXT that Eddie Thorpe beat Trick Williams because I haven't watched Vengeance Day, as I mentioned prior to going live. So it's baffled me that they decided to book Trick Williams to lose the strap match on Black History Month. Like, it's bad enough that they booked them in the match, then they had booked them to lose. Like, what the fuck you doing, Shawn Michaels? The fuck is he doing?
Excuse me, I have an answer. It was Eddie Thorpe versus Dijak.
Oh.
Yeah, when he was his racist cop face of his
back
career.
In 2023, so.
What a time to be alive.
God, that was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Surprise.
All right, Katie, what do we watch NXT for?
The ladies.
Let's talk about the good, ish, kind of. So we kicked it off match-wise with Jada versus Carmen versus Salami Jordan in a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Stephanie Vaquer's newly won NXT North American Championship. Shout out to Jada in that cum drip gear. Love that.
Terrible.
That's what it looked like.
It looked like Scott Hall, like NWO gear.
Yeah, cum drip. It started out, I'm not going to lie, it started out kind of rough. They were a little off their game kicking it off, but they got it back around. Ashanti helped Carmen get the win.
Bless you. Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Oh, you didn't see his third time.
Then Fatal Attraction jumps Carmen in the ring as Salami and Jada, hey, Miss Parker, brawl out into the crowd. Through the commercial break, they're whooping her ass. And listen.
Then they start whooping Ashanti's ass.
Well, he just stood there from the get-go and didn't do nothing. He didn't even try and stop them.
Yeah, like, protect your girl, bro.
Listen.
Pull a bitch off of her.
I'm not
As
saying,
a man.
Yeah, exactly. Don't hit a woman, but at least
No, just grab her
and pull her back. Like,
yeet.
Listen. Yes, you're right. As a man, you should not lay hands on a woman. But if another woman is laying their hands on your woman and she's knocked the fuck out cold and in the fetal position, unresponsive, at that point you might have to swing just to get her out of the situation. Pick her up, get the fuck out of there. If they swing at you, just shove them off. Shove them
They
off.
swung at him, all right, with a fucking chair.
oh yeah, no, they whooped his ass. Then they like cut a little promo, but I don't know what they said because we were in commercial break and that was kind of a waste of time. Stephanie comes out during commercial break, gets in the ring. Giulia comes out during commercial break. We come back from commercial break as Fatal Attraction starts jumping both our NXT Women's Champion and North American Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, you know why?
Why?
Because Jacy Jayne is a fake ass bitch.
And so are her friends. On to Jordan Grace comes out, then she starts cleaning house, and she's like, us three versus you three, main event tonight. And Ava makes the match. Really good 6-woman tag match to close out NXT match-wise, because we had a little at the end there. Obviously, you have some of the best women on the roster out there doing their fucking thing. Yeah, no, I swallow.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Except for being number one contender, because like, yeah.
I mean,
it makes sense in hindsight. It makes sense in hindsight. She's gonna challenge next week. She's gonna lose. Like whoever challenged first against Stephanie Vaquer was gonna take that L. And it looks like they're pivoting to Miss Parker versus Salami Jordan in a singles match, singles program. So there's that. So it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't approve of it. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
What were you gonna say, Katie?
It's kind of like the same thing of what Vince was saying. Like it makes sense for Carmen to win, especially because all of the animosity between Salami and Miss Parker, it all is there. It was still a fun match, and it led to a fun 6-woman tag. I can't be mad at that. Women doing women things.
Yeah, women kill it.
Speaking of women doing women things and fun ass matches, Metaphors, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend lose to Soul and Zarya. Do we have a name for them yet?
Nope.
No.
That's sad. As Jakara got her soul snatched. And Soul and Zarya worked really well. What are you looking at me like that way for?
Do you have a cat?
Yes.
I didn't know you had a cat. I just saw a random cat in the background just strolling, owning the place.
I've had a cat for longer than I've known you.
Oh, Matt, you could have played it up like, no, I don't have a cat, and like Vince is just
You could have so fucked with my head. Could have fucked with my head.
So here's the thing. I may every now and then say the wrong thing or stumble across my words, and you two often give me funny looks. So every time I see someone giving me a funny look, I'm assuming that you think I said something wrong, and I knew that I said the right person got their soul snatched. So I was more focused on that than fucking with Vince about the cat.
Fair.
I had no idea.
I thought he was going to be like,
your house.
Jakara. No, she fucking got her soul snatched. I was there. I watched it happen. She got F5 and then she got her soul snatched.
You were there? You were in Florida? When
Yeah,
it happened?
I was in Florida when it happened, right there.
He was in
That's
the
crazy.
performance center and everything. That's crazy.
You got there? You got back home so fast.
He's actually still recording there. This is like the green screen that Justin does with the bodega.
No, you're wrong, Vince. I know instant transmission.
What up, Jess?
What up, Jess? Yeah, women's tag match, Spit or Swallow.
Swallow. Women. Woohoo!
I concur. I do as well. Swallow. Shout out to Soruka. Man, she's been looking fantastic lately. I don't know what. Like I turned that corner with her, and I never looked back, and I regret my past transgressions. That's the word.
There you go. You got there.
I got there.
Took you a second, but you got there, folks. Soruka's been a babe from the jump. You just weren't hopping on the bandwagon. How dare you?
No, I wasn't liking the surfer girl gimmick, and like I see past that now. Also, she'd be posting a lot of great videos on her social medias. So, and she's got a cool finish.
Tyler Bates, a lucky man.
Shout out to Jess. Listen, Vince, the number of people that you have not been on board with and then finally come around to since we've started podcasting is ridiculous. You should just listen to me and Katie from now on. Who tell you?
Who else
Sheamus?
Sheamus I liked. I just like
is a big one.
Sheamus, that's more Young Kings. I'll give you credit because that was born on Young Kings. That was exclusively born on Young Kings.
It was born on Young Kings, but it died on this channel.
No, not on this channel. It died on my channel.
Whatever. It died amongst the three of us.
I'm pretty sure I called you out on Young Kings about your Sheamus slander so that they could talk shit to you.
No.
Sure
I brought up the shit. We don't have time for that. We got a schedule to keep. We have a time limit.
I mean, we do probably have time, but
we'll talk about that afterwards. If there's time.
Speaking of people being disrespectful like Vince, Wes Lee gets disrespected by Sarah backstage because she saw he who is yet to be named, for the majority of the show. And she was like, "Yeah, Wes, that's great. Hold on. Hey, you are signing a contract tonight. Blah blah blah." Wes took exception to that. So then we go through an entire contract signing and two promos, one from Ethan Page and one from Wesley, where that nobody says his fucking name.
Nope.
They refer to him as you, he, I know you, everything but his fucking name. And they build and they build and they build till he finally signs the contract. You know, Ethan Page was out there. Javon Evans showed up and started whooping his ass right after. He said that Javon Evans was one of those guys that was going to come back and whoop his ass. Mm-hmm. What came out, tried to cheap shot him, and got knocked the fuck back out of the ring and held back by security so that we could sign his contract that said Ricky Saints.
See, Will says it's a silly name. I think it's a fine name.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that name.
Shout out to. Good.
I was gonna say shout out to Seahawk who said we are now Saints Row.
Nice. That's
someone
good.
said do it if for his fans they become little saints. And I was like, oh, okay. Like that. Anybody?
It's gonna take an adjustment period to like get used to calling him Ricky Saints. It's kind of like I don't know, it's always tough to like adjust to a new name. Me personally. I don't know why they didn't just let him keep Ricky Starks or just call him Ricky. I don't know. It's nitpicking here in terms of the whole thing. It's gonna get a gargle undecidedly. That's mostly because of what you talked about, where they kept addressing him as you. I know who you are. You're the absolute one, the revolutionary, whatever. It really gave me feels of when you're playing a video game and they have voiceovers, but they don't have a voiceover for the name of the playable character. So they just call you, oh, I know you. You're this person. You're so and so, and what have you.
Oh, you got served.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was weird. It's kind of like when you play Hogwarts Legacy, and it's like, oh, you're the new fifth year, aren't you? Like I've heard about you. I'm also a fifth year. Stuff
Or
like that.
Pokemon, when you select your name and they act as if you don't have a name at first until you tell them what your name is.
But it's even weirder when they have voiceovers. Like they do that. They used to do that in old WWE games, where like they or like just like created character games in NBA 2K. Like it's just weird. It's just fucking weird when there's a voiceover and your name is the only name that they don't say.
See, I didn't have a problem with this at all. I didn't have a problem with the name. I kind of liked the fact that they built the tension to the reveal of the name. I appreciated that. It was good shit. The only thing I had a problem with was the 40 million fucking social media posts that all said, Ricky Saints, what do you think?
It's because
I didn't see any of those.
Engagement farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be what it be.
Yeah.
What is it, by the way? Pokemon character called.
That's your co-host. You wanna?
I'm not touching that. We'll have a conversation about that later on. But
that should be the next sweaty session.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
maybe. How they're gonna scissor the chat.
We then go backstage. Ricky Saints, now officially named, walks backstage to find everyone laid the fuck out in Gorilla, which, again, I don't know why everyone's hanging out in Gorilla, why there was like 10 people back there just chilling. Assuming it was Dion Lennox's new faction, but we don't know.
Oh, you said Ricky went back into Gorilla, but it was Ava's office. That's where the person got attacked. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Right after the segment, Ricky walked into Gorilla and everyone was laid out, and he's like, "This place is wild." Like Briggs,
I don't think it was supposed to be Gorilla. I think it was just supposed to be NXT backstage.
It was a backstage area that had black curtains in a small square that everyone was standing in. If that's not Gorilla, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Was. I mean, when he got interviewed by Sarah, everyone was standing there, and then
that was the same area. That was the same area. That's not Gorilla.
No, it was not the same area.
Okay, we're gonna have to run the tape, but it's not that important to be honest. Regardless, backstage it happened.
He found everyone laid out.
When the fuck did that happen? Did I miss seeing that?
You missed that.
Yeah, it happened right after they came
Briggs
back.
Briggs was laid out, his partner was laid out, and some other people that were hanging out backstage were all like laid out on the floor.
I'm not even looking for it. I don't even care. Whatever.
But it was like right after his contract signing segment. He walked backstage and everyone was laid out.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The other thing we'll get to later. And then he's hanging out with Ava backstage, and up comes Ethan Page and Wesley and Javon Evans, and she's like, fuck it, next week tag team match. Not a fan of Cody's Clique not being together as a tag team.
I don't think Ethan Page was part of his clique. Was he?
Yes.
Like, I don't recall him being part of his clique. I know Sean Spears is.
Wasn't Ethan Page a part of that picture they all took backstage at NXT?
They were part of the picture, but they were mostly just like, oh, look at us. We're all former AEW guys.
Hence,
here in NXT.
Cody's Clique.
Hence, Cody's Clique. I feel like you're not here when we talk.
I'm here.
Some weeks. I really don't. Like, we had a whole discussion of all of Cody's guys and how it'd be great if Ricky Starks could join all of Cody's guys. And we listed all of Cody's guys. And Ethan Page was specifically in there. And then we said,
I have to go back. I have to go back and watch it. I don't recall
we don't want QT. Like, that's the one Cody guy we don't want. But, like, all of Cody's boys
the conversation. I remember the discourse. I don't remember Ethan Page being name dropped, but that could just be me.
But he was literally when he showed up because there was no reason to just talk about Cody and Sean Spears.
Fair enough. Lexus King, yes.
King.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sean Spears, Stax tries to defend the honor of the Don and loses to Sean Spears, and I blame Katie.
Whoa. Why? What did Katie do?
Katie has been riding the Sean Spears train since he returned.
Because I love Sean Spears.
And exactly. And I said, keep Sean Spears the fuck away from the family. And the fuck away from Izzy Dame, and they didn't. And now here we are. The Don is missing. Stacks is defeated. All bad things. And I blame
He pulled a
Katie.
solo Sokoa after a loss and disappeared and left his family behind.
No, he got beat the fuck up and hit with a crowbar. He's probably hurt.
Realistically, he's probably on his honeymoon, but whatever. Or
Realistically, yes. But even so, like, he's a tough mob boss. He's a Don. He don't.
They
like,
clipped his knee. They fucked up his back. Like,
you get up, dust yourself off, and you show up next week. That's what you do.
So are you saying they should do that to you and see if you get up and dust yourself off?
I'm not a Don of NXT, so I can take a whip and take a couple.
You're also not Italian, so I don't feel like you should be speaking on what Italians do or do not do, or how they should handle situations where they're clipped in the knee with a crowbar. I, however, will.
I'm a Chicagoan, though, so I know how that rolls, though.
No, that's not how that works.
It's exactly how that works. That's how the maths.
So yeah, Stacks takes an L, and it's all Katie's fault.
Sure.
I think that's uncalled for, but no. I don't know. Stacks didn't really seem like he was there to defend the Don's honor. He was more like, hey, he can't handle business. I'm going to handle business. That's the kind of energy I got from Stacks. This has been the energy I've been getting from. So what?
Tony told him to stand up for, and like, he can't be the underboss forever.
I don't know, but it's very passive aggressive from Stacks. So I feel like we might be going down the line where we get Stacks versus the Don. Because even Luca was like, did you talk to Tony about this? He was like, forget about Tony. Like, come on, follow me to the match.
No, he said, have either of you heard from Tony? Didn't think so. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. But it's essentially that energy. It was essentially the energy. It's like, forget Tony. Like, I'm calling the shots right now. I'm doing what we're doing.
That's what an underboss is supposed to do if the boss is not available.
I don't know.
Again,
he's taking
Vince
liberties.
Doesn't understand the mafia hierarchy. You don't even understand what we're talking about here. You have no idea what's going on or how the hierarchy works.
I understand the hierarchy. I'm just saying he's taking liberties.
I think you're causing issues where there are no issues, sir.
The issues are there.
You're trying to create drama where there is no issues.
They're there.
This isn't Rey Mysterio who can't trust anybody but trusts everybody and gets screwed over. It's not the same scenario.
He's not He's not an underboss or a Don though. But it's all right. It's all right. We'll see.
Trust no bitch. Let's move on.
Exactly, Izzy. And then last but not least, Stone is found fucked up in Ava's office, which did it not have a wall?
I think it was like, I don't know, like on the outskirts, like
it was like a glass
door that went outside, and then like the door like inside.
Didn't look like there was a door. Like we saw 4 alleged members of the new faction running off into the parking lot, and I felt like they just came in like an empty wall, and it was all destroyed, and it said no one is safe on the wall, and Stone was wrecked on the floor.
At first, I was like, who is she saying? Because, like, the camera was so shaky. I was like, who the fuck is this? I thought she was saying Zoe. I was like, Enzo Moore's here? What the fuck? And then I was like, oh, Stone. That's what she was saying.
I had no idea who the fuck that was. I was so confused. I'm like, the only person I've seen in the white button-up was Andre Chase, and that didn't seem like Andre Chase at all. I was just so confused as to who that was. I'm just finding out right now it's Robert Stone through Matt's analysis of the situation.
Surprise.
But... yeah, I mean, it's Robert Stone. He got ran over by a tank. Do we really care what happens to him?
No, not really.
Oh.
NXT, spit or swallow?
Swallow. Women. Ladies.
I'm going to have to gargle undecidedly because the women are the only positive on tonight's episode. Everything else was just, I don't know, a weird taste in my mouth. Not sure if I like the palate just yet.
Yeah, this was an over-the-pants hand job for me as well.
Well, whatever.
The women's stuff was great, but the Hardy stuff and the Moose stuff and Sean Spears dismantling my family, all big L's. And then, yeah. Katie, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter, KatieWrestling13, the link to my bad to everything She Lead Showcase, twitch.tv/She Lead Showcase, and youtube.com/She Lead Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish.
Vince?
At SES Vince, everywhere social media platforms are found. Check out the Get Show podcast tomorrow. We'll be live around 9:45 Central Standard Time PM, 10 p.m. at the latest Central Standard Time.
You guys can follow me at Matt Ridders, MATTRDDER, for your wrestling content on X, Twitter, getting off for your horror content, and everywhere else at Smackin It Raw, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. For Miss Katie Kinsey Bay and SES Vince, I am the patron saint of podcast and Ward Matt Ritter, and this has been your Tuesday edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast and XXXT.
Triple X.